In this video, I'm going to react to 10 possible evidences of time travel throughout history. Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. This is the place where I react to music, media, sports, anime, anything related to popular culture. I'll watch it with an open mind and give you my 100% honest reaction to it. And if you could please hit that like button early, I'd really appreciate it. Now, time travel is a subject that absolutely fascinates me. Honestly, it's probably one of the most, if not the most things I'm interested in the whole sort of science fiction / sort of futurism realm. You know, can you imagine if we could someday go back in time just to see, you know, how humans lived and the kind of social structures and just the ways of life, let's say 1,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, you know, and then go see what it's going to be like 5,000 years into the future, you know, if we're still here at all. It would honestly be incredible. I don't know if it's possible, but hopefully one day. But then it kind of begs the question that, you know, if, because there's theories that apparently time doesn't move in a linear fashion or something like that. So I guess if, you know, there's people a million years in the future that kind of exist on the same timeline that we live, they might have the technology and they might have gone back in time to our time, if you know what I mean. It's all really weird. But yeah, like this video here, when it was recommended to me, I knew I had to put it high on the list just because this really is something that I could watch in my spare time. I love this sort of stuff. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So let's go. This is going to be me reacting to 10 possible examples of time travel throughout history. Let's do it.
The notion of time travel has always fascinated people, usually popularized in movies, TV shows and books.
Back to the Future. Doctor Who, classic.
Fixated on the events of the past, sometimes question, for example, if killing baby Hitler would have changed the course of world history for the better. What if time travel isn't fiction? Today we'll be showcasing what could possibly be real-life evidence of time travel.
Wow.
These are 10 counts of possible evidence of time travel throughout history that just might change your mind. If they are not time travelers, you must admit that some are downright spooky.
Let's see.
Number 10. Woman speaking on a mobile phone.
What?
A mysterious video emerged from 1938 showing a woman speaking on a mobile phone. Found in 2013, this footage could indicate evidence of the existence of time travel. However, her grandchildren came forward and explained. Well, we asked her about this and she remembers it quite clearly. She says DuPont had a telephone communications section in the factory where she worked. Well, yes, but that does not explain what she's holding up to her face.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't, because in 1938, I highly doubt that wireless telephone technology existed. I highly doubt that because, you know, I remember when I was a teeny weeny little kid, like in the 90s, you know, landlines were still used, right? I think mobile phones only really became everywhere like maybe 2001, something like that. So, you know, yeah.
Number 9. Time traveller at a football game. This footage was recorded during a live football match in Uruguay. During a live football match, a shadowy figure can be seen running through an aisle at super speed.
Where? Oh! Is that a person? What the heck was that? Look, yeah. That guy.
The figure seems to be running through people at an incredible speed.
No, that has to be a shadow, surely. Is that a person or a shadow? It looks like a shadow to me. I think that's a shadow. But if it's a shadow, a shadow of what?
Number 8, the Mohawk haircut. The Mohawk haircut didn't appear until the 1939 movie Drums Along the Mohawk, starring Henry Fonda. So it might surprise you that this photograph of a man with a Mohawk haircut is from 1905. This haircut only gained popularity in the 1970s, so how on earth did a man from 1905 choose such a futuristic hairstyle? Number 7,
Yeah, no, that one, that one's a bit, it's a bit of a reach, Who's to say that the man just didn't want to, he just wanted to shave some hair off and leave that there, like...
Travelling hipster. This is a famous photograph that started the time travel craze. It was taken in the early 1940s at the reopening of South Fork Bridge in Goldbridge, British Columbia. At first glance, nothing appears to be at odd with this black and white photo. However, on close inspection, a man can clearly be seen wearing sunglasses, a modern haircut, and a modern logo printed faded t-shirt and cardigan. He is also noticeably taller than the other men around him. The sunglasses weren't around that time, and notice how he seems to be holding a pocket-sized digital camera around his neck.
Whoa, okay. Now this one legitimately, my curiosity is piqued. Because this is clearly a printed logo on that t-shirt. In the 40s, I doubt that they had that kind of technology. I know that they were printing newspapers back then, but on fabric? I don't know. And what's that in his hand?
Neck, which he is holding in his hands. Could this man be a time traveller? Number 6, woman talking on a mobile phone. This footage was captured from behind the scenes of Charlie Chaplin's The Circus. A woman dressed in a black hat seems to be hiding most of her face and is holding something to her ear that looks like one of today's mobile phones. What makes it more eerie is that the woman seems to be talking to someone, even to the point where she stops to chat on the device.
What?
No.
I mean, come on, the last two are definitely worth investigating further. If there were, there's probably no way we can because they're so far removed, but wow.
Number 5, Swiss watch found in an ancient Chinese tomb. Chinese archaeologists claim to have found a small ring in the shape of a watch in 2008 when they opened a previously undisturbed giant coffin. But it may surprise you that the coffin was in a 400-year-old tomb in Siqing in Shaanxi County, China. So how on earth did a ring that looked exactly like a Swiss watch from the present day get inside a 400-year-old tomb? This shocking discovery appeared to show a time frozen at 10:06 and Swiss engraved on the back.
What?
Could this be a sign of future time travel?
Holy shit.
Number 4, 1800s astronaut. This sculpture can be found on a pillar at Salamanca Cathedral Church in Spain. It clearly shows an astronaut, and however, you'd be surprised to hear that the church was built between the 1600s and 1800s, so well before space travel.
Hold on a minute. Is this guy trolling me? Hold on. Let me check the feedback of this. I mean, I don't know. Are some of these pictures fake?
How on earth?
Are some of them fake? Because if this is real, I mean, how do you explain this? How do you explain this?
They carved this spaceman with his suit looking exactly like today's astronauts. Could this be evidence of a spaceman travelling from the future back in time? Number 3, ancient man-made object. This next evidence of time travel comes from a mysterious prehistoric high-tech artefact. Inside this piece of rock appears to be a man-made object that looks like an indent of an industrial screw. Discovered in 2009 in the village of Sarajevo in the Moscow region of Russia, very little is known about this curious object.
That definitely looks like a screw that's been sawed in half. Maybe, when the archaeologists were cutting out this sample. What the fuck? This is blowing my mind. I mean, come on, let me know what you think, guys. Is this BS? I think if everything is as it's actually appearing and as the narrator is describing, this stuff is very, very, very interesting.
A similar object also found in Russia is said to be a 300 million year old aluminium gear.
What?
Some theorists believe that ancient artifacts like this are proof of support for the ancient astronauts theory. Number 2. Mysterious time traveller. The urban legend goes that during June 1950, passersby at New York City's Times Square noticed a strange-looking man of about 20 years of age, dressed in 1800s clothing, looking disoriented and confused while standing in the middle of an intersection. The man was then hit and killed by a taxi.
What?
The officials at the morgue searched his body and found the following items in his pocket: old copper tokens, a letter from 1876, business cards with the name Rudolph Fentz, and other old but new-looking documents. After investigating the man, an NYPD policeman found that Rudolph Fentz had disappeared in 1876.
What?
Had Fentz travelled into the future by accident? Number 1. The Cape Scott Story. This photograph was discovered in a book called The Cape Scott Story by James Grant. The photo, taken in Cape Scott Park, dates back to 1917 and shows holidaymakers dressed in typical attire from that time. However, if you look closely, there is one man that clearly looks out of place.
Yeah.
This mysterious time traveller has longish hair and is wearing a grungy t-shirt and looks more like a Nirvana fan from the 1990s. Even more eerie is that the men on either side of him seem to be staring at him in disbelief.
Guys, my mind is legitimately blown. I mean, I am definitely, when I'm done editing this, I'm going to do some research, because the last 3 to 4 of these entries legitimately leave me scratching my head. I mean, the ones with the mobile phones, you know, they definitely look like the people are speaking into them. It's not like they're just holding them up to their ears. They're speaking into them as we would, you know. And I don't think they had mobile phones in the 30s. Like, I think, what's that movie? The one with Michael Douglas, was it The Wolf of Wall Street? I can't remember what it was, but you know, the one with the stockbrokers and stuff like that from the 80s. And those mobile phones were huge. They were like massive mobile phones with big aerials. The ones in this video here look like modern, you know, like smartphones, like real like head scratchy stuff. And the guy with the t-shirt with the graphic logo and the sunglasses in the picture in the 20s. I mean, wow. I mean, real fascinating stuff. Honestly, I really enjoyed this video. I mean, I've got to do some digging. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and keep throwing the recommendations my way. I know I say it all the time, but they genuinely help me out, because if I know you enjoyed watching something, I'll definitely enjoy reacting to it. So like, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, keep throwing the recommendations, and I'll catch you in the next one.